Let's talk crochet. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. This is episode 094, and today I'm just going to talk about all of my little bits and pieces of crochet world. Now, I do want to go ahead and start off this video. If y'all saw my short, yes indeed, Hobby Lobby, at least the one closest to me, has started to mark down some yarn. So I'm going to do my little yarn haul here at the beginning, and then after that I will get into the things that I've been crocheting this week. So funny story, I was not planning on stopping by Hobby Lobby at all until I realized that as I was making an amigurumi, and I was making it out of a Hobby Lobby yarn, out of I Love This Cotton, I realized that I wasn't going to have enough, but thankfully it was one of those standard colors, standard white, so I went in to get it, and as I was there, I saw a woman marking down the die lot clearance yarn. So that was on a Wednesday, this past Wednesday. So this upload is coming to you on September 24th, 2024, so this would have been a week ago that I encountered Hobby Lobby clearance in progress. So at that time, it was a 30% off week, and I went ahead. I didn't wait around. I had other things I needed to do, but I went ahead and grabbed just a few colors, and I thought, hey, I will let this wonderful salesperson, this wonderful worker, do her job. I'm not going to hang over her, but I'll come back tomorrow and see what else has happened, because I knew that this weekend was going to be crazy, and it was. And so I was not able to get back to the store. So I figured she's probably going to go down the aisle, get a few things done a day, maybe work throughout the day, but I bet this week it'll be done. And then I can always go back and check on Monday and see if anything's left, what's the situation there. So all that to say, I ended up making 2 trips. While I was there on that Wednesday, I got a few things, and that's when I did a little short for everyone. And then I went back the next morning to just see how much she had gone through and what there was available, and that's when I got my white. So first trip, I got some Crafter's Secret. I got 3 in the colorway Turquoise Rainbow Bridge. These are just beautiful. These were 75 cents a piece. They are 120 yards or 109 meters, and they are 100% cotton. This is Hobby Lobby's version of kind of a workhorse cotton, kind of a kitchen cotton. You could make things out of it, like things that you might want to wear. It's a little bit scratchier, but this I thought would be a great bag. So those colors just screamed out to me. So I got 3 in that happy turquoise, and then there was 1 in a coordinating turquoise. This color is turquoise. So all those together I thought would coordinate well. That'll be some kind of bag. And if you saw my recent upload talking about trying to wear my crochet, one of the things that I realized was I wanted more bags. I needed more kind of crochet purses, things like that. So I think I know what I want to do with these. I'm not sure if a pattern exists or if I'm going to have to figure it out for myself. But that is definitely a joyful thing, a good project in the future. And again, at 75 cents a piece, it was very, very affordable there. I think including tax, I spent a total of $3.28 on these, so not bad. Next day I went back, and it was still just cottons that I saw. So there's more of the Crafter's Secret, but at this point there's also the I Love This Cotton. I did get the white, which was not on clearance, not a die lot thing, but basic white. Needed it. Glad I have it. So that was the original intent of going into Hobby Lobby to begin with. And just so y'all know, I have been allocating funds over time. I have a little bit of a budget set aside for this clearance, so I was able to not really constrain myself too much. But again, while I was there, I did talk to someone who wanted to get into amigurumi, and so I was talking to her about the cottons that I would use. And at this point, when I'd gone back, it was Thursday morning, and so Friday, Saturday, I'm sure markdowns happened. And when I went back today just to check, it was all gone. All of the yarn had not been placed back up on the shelves after it was marked. It was instead placed in a shopping cart in a buggy in the yarn section. So I went there, walked all around the store, could not find it. And I'm guessing what happened was that someone saw all that yarn marked down and just walked off with whatever was there. So at some point, someone was just like, I'm going to take this whole buggy Maybe it was a bunch of people that did that. I'm sure that people were generous and were happy to leave some things for other folks. And I certainly left some things for other folks as well. But in terms of this Hobby Lobby that I went to, I did not get to experience whether any of the I Love This Yarn, any of the acrylics were marked down. All I was there to see was the cottons. And again, it was gone. So don't blame anyone. I was glad that I was able to get what I did. And here is what I got. I walked away with 8 skeins. I got 3 colors here. And these are the standard I Love This Cotton. This is something that I have made garments from in the past. I've also used it for amigurumi. I really like it for amigurumi. It's really nice and soft as a 4-weight cotton yarn. These come in 100 grams, 180 yards, 165 meters, 3.5 ounces. These do recommend an I9, a 5.5 millimeter hook. I got 2 of this colorway, which is Warm Blush. This Warm Blush is just ever so slightly in the middle of a peachy pink. So I thought this would be beautiful for amigurumi specifically, or if I really wanted to stretch it, maybe I could add this in with another color to do like a summer top. So 2 of those. And then the other colors I got 1 of each. That was all that was available. There was the color Curry, and there was the color Aspen, A-S-P-Y-N. So another one of those kind of turquoisey colors. And ironically, these 3 kind of remind me of similar colors that I got last year. I ended up making a shawl with them that I then featured in my last video from Saturday, my wearing crochet for 2 weeks. So really fun that I had these. There's some amigurumi patterns that I want to make in the future. I think these would be great colors for that as well. And yeah, just kind of wanted to restock, just have some things in my stash that I could pull from if the mood struck. I did get 4 other skeins of I Love This Cotton, but it is in the print. And all of these were the same price. Original price was $3.99 down to 99 cents a piece. So this print is the colorway Harvest Hues, and it is kind of a mustardy yellow, kind of a Kelly green, a light pumpkin, almost like a clay orange, and then more of a kind of gunmetal gray, all marled with that white. So it's kind of like a denim type print, or maybe like a washed print. But I did get 4 of them, and with 153 yards, only 85 grams on these, but with 153 yards per skein, I figured that would also make up into a nice little sleeveless top. I'll find some kind of pattern, maybe do like a vest or something where it would still be solid enough to wear it without something underneath, but it would also work as a layering piece as the fall comes. But yeah, I thought those were pretty fun colors, and this was the only color that I personally found where there were 4 of them together. Now, every Hobby Lobby is going to be different, and again, these are yarns that are going to be carried in the future. They're not clearancing out their yarns entirely, but it's just the dye lots that are different. And in fact, if you look at the dye lot numbers, even among these 4, I don't have all the same dye lots here, but they are similar enough that they're going to blend okay into one project. So with those, I did 8 skeins of yarn plus the 1 regular price, the 30% off regular price. It was only about $11 on that. But yeah, 8 of these at $1 a piece. Very good deal. Very happy with that. Now the question is, am I going to be going to other Hobby Lobbies in my area? There are a couple others that I could check pretty easily, as I have relationships with people all over the Middle Tennessee area. There are a couple of other Hobby Lobbies that I could check at. One of them I did call today just to see if they had started clearancing out their yarn yet, and they did not. They have not. And I've learned over the years, this is maybe the 2nd or 3rd year that I've really been able to understand how Hobby Lobby works. But they tend to be later on. So I've realized that my closest Hobby Lobby usually gets their clearance first. There's another one that hits maybe the week after, and then this other one maybe a week or two, even 2 weeks later. So if you are interested in hitting up the Hobby Lobby clearance, I always call ahead. Whenever I call, I try to be extra sweet because I know I don't want them to feel hassled. I know that we Yarny people, we're eager for these deals, and they are twice a year. So we want to make sure that we're not wasting our gas driving out there. But at the same time, we want to be super sweet and super kind to these folks that are working hard for us to help us get our yarn at good deals. So anyway, I've always had good experiences calling ahead, and that's another way that I've just kind of being able to figure out when these clearances happen. So, am I going to go for anything else? I probably will. I will probably in the next few weeks stop in at a different Hobby Lobby and see if anything's on offer. If I get it, I'll just put it in, not as a separate yarn haul video, but right in here with my weekly podcasty catch-ups. I would be interested to see if there's any of their acrylics that are on clearance. I do especially want to look for some of their anti-pilling acrylic because that performs so well in my anti-pilling acrylic breakdown test, scientific experiment, pseudo-scientific, whatever you want to call it. I can link those videos in the description below if you're interested in those, if you haven't seen them. But yeah, I was surprised that Hobby Lobby's yarn did so well for the price and for the yardage. And I know in the past I've been able to find some of that Hobby Lobby yarn, some of that low pill acrylic on their dye lot clearance. If that happens, awesome. I will be glad to pick it up, but if not, no worries. I am happy with what I have so far, and I'm not going to stress myself out over it. So if you're only here for the yarn haul part of it, I am so glad that you hung out with me this long, and if you want to hang out to hear what I've been crocheting this week, that is what I'm going to get into next. I'm going to start with the reason that I went to Hobby Lobby in the beginning, which was to work on Sweet Crochet Friends. I'm working on The Sheep by Crochet. And yes, I have not finished it. It has been a wild week, but I only have about this much of that white left. And last week I had the head, I had the hat. Sorry, you're hearing my crochet hook rattling around in my yarn bowl here. This is what I had last week. In addition, I now have the body. I now have 2 ears that are not sewed on. And I have 1 arm, and I know this will probably get me an arm. This could maybe even get me a little bit of a leg, but I wanted to be sure that I had what I needed. So now I do have that extra yarn. I am using a Hobby Lobby clearance yarn for the kind of fluffy bits, and this is the color Buttercup. But the one that I just got, I think that's a pretty nice contrast as well. So I might be going ahead and adding in this other yellow as a contrast, because if you see in our blue little sheep here, you have slightly different contrasting blues. And so I think that could be just perfect for making this lamb even more adorable, just having that contrast in there. So I'm looking forward to getting more work done on this week, maybe even finishing it up. That would be wonderful. But yes, spoiler, there are no finished projects this week. There's a lot of frogging involved. Let me go ahead and show you the other works in progress. There's only 2. This one is a Willow Yarns. I think it's a Willow Worsted. It is their superwash wool. Now it's not superwash merino, but it is superwash wool. And I am making the forest green hat by, I think it's Tatiana Yatsuno. I am making progress on this. I'm about halfway done. So this hat is one I've made several times in the past, but this is the first time I'm making it in green, but it is one that I have to focus on. It is yarn over slip stitches in the back loops only, and you do have to be kind of accurate with how you place them. So that is one that I can do while I'm waiting. I haven't really done a lot of waiting and sitting this week, but that's one that I will definitely be working on and making more progress on. I will show it off when I'm done. Don't know when that's going to be, but just know that that's going on in the background as well. The other big project that I'm working on is a wrap sweater using Scarfy yarn. And so far I'm still in the first ball of the color Seafoam Clay, and the other color is Pink and Silver. And last week I just had the back panel, but this week I have the fronts going. Now, truth be told, I was almost done with the front. I had the second front panel almost all the way done, and then I realized something was really weird. I had done too many increases, and so this front wrap panel was just wild. So I had to frog all the way back. Thankfully, it's such a large yarn size that even with frogging, it still is easy to just kind of come back to it. I'm trying to hold this up for you guys. So here's my front panel that is done with the ties on it. Here's the second front panel. And so you can see I'm getting pretty close to being done there. And you can also see how those colors are playing out, going into the grays and the blues, just alternating 2 rows of each yarn back and forth. And I'm carrying the yarn along the neckline here. I am following a pattern kind of generally in terms of the shaping, but not specifically because that calls for a much smaller yarn. It's an MJ's Off the Hook Designs pattern, and that will be listed right here along the bottom somewhere. But yes, this is one that I was so eager to work on. I really, really wanted to get a lot more progress on it. And it was just so heartbreaking when I realized that I needed to frog all the way back. In fact, I frogged back because it was too big. And then the second time I made it too small. And so now here we are actually going where we need to be. And I can imagine that I will at least be done with the front panels this week. And then hopefully I'm just going to crochet on the arms and just crochet the arm out this way so it grows this way. And then I'll be able to just fold it in half and stitch up the sides and we'll be done. It's going to be beautiful. And I know I'm going to have more than enough yarn because I have 2 others of each of these colors. And so having a little bit of leftover is going to be good. Maybe I'll do another sweater with that, or a sweater vest rather, not a sweater. This will be good enough. But yes, lots that I'm excited to work on, lots that I hope to be finished with soon. And then there's always new projects that I want to start. I want to use some of these new yarns that I picked up. And again, we'll see as I'm out and about if I happen to be able to pick up anything else. We'll just pop in and we'll just figure it out. Yeah, y'all, that's it for me this week. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you for those of you who've been with me all along on this little YouTube adventure. Thank you for giving me ideas on not only things to do in crochet, pushing me to think about things in new ways. But thank you so much for all of your encouragement on this channel. It is so wonderful to get to hang out with you all in the comments, see what you're thinking, and be able to hopefully encourage you right along back. If for whatever reason I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I really do appreciate you, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.